It's 1992, and now things are really starting to pick up at the movie theater. What's up, everybody? So let's go back into time to 1992, and I'm telling you, I'll put this list of movies up against any year in any decade. All right, so let's go down them. First and foremost, we got one of my favorite filmmakers of all time, the most consistently awesome writer, director, storyteller, Quentin Tarantino. This is his first go around with Reservoir Dogs. After that, we got Unforgiven by Clint Eastwood. And I gotta say, I remember watching it as like maybe 12 or 13 years old. I didn't get it. I went back and watched it when I was in my 30s or so. And that's when I finally understood the brilliance of it. You know, I had seen many westerns up until that point, so I didn't understand why everyone was talking so heavily about Unforgiven, how it breaks the mold. It really kind of takes the genre and flips it on its head. Um, and then I was like, oh, okay, I got it. It went way over my head as a young boy. I finally understood the power of Gene Hackman, even though he'd always been around in so many movies that I loved growing up. But when I saw Unforgiven, I was like, okay, this guy is special. May he rest in peace. Basic Instinct is just a fun kind of thriller, I guess. You know, a really sexy thriller. I didn't get so much into it as I was a kid. You know, I was too young for it, even though I would hear some of my friends talk about it. And it's still good. I don't understand like the hoopla around it, but you know it's still a fun time. Bram Stoker's Dracula, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, and if you go back and look, this is the first one that really kind of highlighted the Victorian age aspect of the movie. After that, it was like every other uh, movie based on one of these, classic stories had to be Victorian age esque. You know, you think of Kenneth Branagh and Robert De Niro in Frankenstein. You think of Julia Roberts and Mary Riley, which is the Jekyll and Hyde story. It all kind of started with this version of Dracula. My Cousin Vinny. It's the Some movies, no matter when they come out, will always be funny, and My Cousin Vinny is absolutely one of them. One of Joe Pesci's finest, and one of those movies that doesn't get enough attention, especially Marissa Tomei's character, and then you really kind of see why she won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. Last of the Mohicans. Michael Mann is very much known for how good he is in the crime drama genre, and this is more of a historical genre. But man, his technical abilities and his directorial competence really shines through. And of course, one of Daniel Day Lewis's just best performances, I think. Even though he's always great, this one is very noteworthy for me. A Few Good Men. I mean, just the cast itself: Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, Demi Moore, Kevin Bacon, and then you have some minor parts from Noah Wyle, from Cuba Gooding Jr., Kevin Pollak. And I highly recommend go and watch the interview that Kevin Pollak gives on the Rich Eisen show, where he tells just some amazing stories about his time making that movie. And of course, written by Aaron Sorkin, one of my favorite writer of all time when it comes to movies. Death Becomes Her, great Robert Zemeckis movie. Wayne's World, I think that and Blues Brothers are the only very successful Saturday Night Live sketches that later on became movies. Scent of a Woman, one of Al Pacino's best performances. Aladdin, this is again really starting to begin that little Disney animated wave in the late 80s to early 90s. Candyman, probably the best horror movie of the 90s. And if you go back and watch it, it's just suspenseful and creepy. It's not really violent and gory. I think maybe only two or three people die at all. It's not really heavy on the kills. It's more of the uncomfortable atmosphere that the movie creates. The Bodyguard, one of the great soundtracks of all time, with one of my favorite singers, Whitney Houston. We got A League of Their Own. We got Glengarry Glen Ross, also one of the all-time great casts. Fun fact about this: I've taught Glengarry Glen Ross as a play, and the play does not have the iconic Alec Baldwin monologue, always be closing, and that is in the movie. There's a heist basically in the movie that you don't really see, but it happens. And when they were adapting it into the movie, the studio was trying to tell David Mamet, we need like something big. We need like, to see the heist go down, as something like dramatic and explosive. And he just kind of nodded his head, took notes, and he came back with the Alec Baldwin monologue. He's like, if you want explosion, let's do it in a performance, in a moment, in a scene, not with pyrotechnics. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, also another classic. Malcolm X, Sister Act, Patriot Games, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, all incredible movies, very diverse group of types of movies in the genre. I remember reading that they're going to do a remake of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle and just being upset about it. It's like, leave Let Enough alone. Some things I don't mind them being remade, and then there are sometimes other movies that are attempted to be reimagined or redone, and it just gets me in a bad mood, and this is one of them. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. Let me know which ones that you enjoyed growing up. Let me know in the comments below. Smash that like button, give me a follow, and I'll see you guys next time.